Hi, I just wanted to do a quick chat with one of my clients, Beth, who came to me earlier this year. Beth came to me with anxiety, but I'm going to hand over to her to let her speak her story. So, Beth, over to you.
Thank you. Just like to say, before I met you, I had tried a numerous amount of therapies, including CBT, counselling, creative therapy, and meditation regularly. All these helped, but they didn't really have as much of an impact on me as the rapid transformational therapy that you offered. It had much bigger impact on me. I was still feeling afraid of leaving my home before I met you, and I had horrific anxiety, felt frozen, had no energy, no motivation, and I just felt really, really low and stuck. Since my work with you, though, I've managed to get out more with my family. I've had more energy. I can do more things around the home. I'm starting to decorate, and I've always also moved forward from some really difficult wounds that my mum had left me. Um, but yeah, I'm much more motivated now to continue with my healing journey.
That's
Yeah.
that's that's really great to hear, and I must admit I do find that quite a lot of clients who do come to me, they have had lots of different types of therapy, or they've had at least some type of therapy before and it hasn't worked, and so they're at a point where they're just looking to find something else. So the whole process which we did, like the 28-day process, how did you find that in the listen to the recordings and the and actually how did you find the process yourself?
Um, Afraid at first because I was wondering, what am I going to uncover here? But because I think your attitude and your gentle nature and calmingness was just really, really helpful for me to feel heard as well, and just feel safe enough to explore the areas that I was struggling with, really.
Yeah.
Um, and I think because she was so thorough in collecting the information from me, that just helped the sessions much, much more. And for me to go deeper as well, because you knew what to talk about and what to ask me, and it was just the right information that you had, really, because you, I suppose, asked me the right questions to get that information from me and all the facts that you needed to hold
Yeah,
the
no,
right
that's
session.
yeah, I think that's why it's important to do a thorough consultation to begin with, to really find out what it is that
Mm-hmm.
you as a client needs to kind of
Yeah.
like work at, and what the real root cause of it is, because it sometimes
Mm-hmm.
isn't very clear. With something generalized like anxiety, it's really important to hone in on that. So is there any tips if anyone was thinking of trying RTT, was a bit unsure, what would you say to them about that?
um Definitely give it a go. Like I said, I've tried so many things, and they just weren't touching the right spot. But it's more on a deeper level, and even though I was struggling with my anxiety of feeling safe mainly, I just felt really, really safe in your presence, with your reassurance as well. You just, made me feel safe while we were working, before, during, and after.
Hmm.
And how you kind of your check-ins as well, I think, are really, really good. It just shows that someone is listening, somebody's hearing you and hearing your struggles, and you're not alone in this. And you were just on hand all the time for me if I had any worries or questions. I just send you a message, and you were really, really good at getting back to me, and it just reassured me that I was on the right path as well. And it's a slow process for me, but I could see it unfolding. Every time we did a recording for me to listen to, there was something different out of it each time.
Hmm.
um and to listen to it every night, that really does work, because it just sort of stays with you subconsciously throughout the days, and things start to change without realizing. So I definitely think it's worth a go. Because of my trauma. I'd never worked on it the way I had done with you before, so it was really, really investigating the deep wounds.
Yeah.
but really in a gentle way, like in slow and not too overpowering.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's really important that you mentioned about listening to the audio, because the session can be very deep, can't it? It can be quite,
Yeah,
it can
yeah,
be it takes a lot out of you, and I know it took a lot out of
yeah,
you. It can leave
it
you
did.
quite tired and drained, and
Yeah,
yeah, and even for you, I think it started to bring up other issues later
yeah,
on, after about 14
yeah,
days, when we were checking in, other issues
yeah,
started coming up, which is like, okay,
yeah,
well, let's focus on where we are. We can deal with those
yeah,
later, but it is really important that, and you worked really well in doing
mm,
in committing to actually going
yeah,
into the session and going with the flow, and being allowing me to guide you. And I think that's really important, which you did really well. And you stuck with it when it gets difficult in the session.
yeah,
You stuck with it. You didn't just kind of
yeah.
refuse to engage.
Yeah, but I think that was partly you, that you just reassured me throughout the session, that I was okay and I was safe. I wasn't where in my head I was somewhere as a child, but you made me feel that, I wasn't physically there anymore.
Yeah.
So
So can you just
that was
elaborate
very
on what?
comforting.
Oh, I'm talking over you. Can you just elaborate on what that's like? Because some people are a little bit concerned that they're going to re-experience the trauma.
Yeah.
So what is that like?
I wouldn't say re-experiencing it. It kind of came over me, the emotion, I think it was. And it lasts a very short time, but that's what needs to happen, I think, for people to be able to move forward, feel it deeply. But I wasn't afraid.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of I it was like, I know I'm not there anymore, but it had to happen. I had to have that real deep emotion, which I did many times. And I just think that's so important to feel, to be able to move forward. But it definitely didn't scare me. It
Yes.
definitely didn't, because you were there. I knew you were there. I wasn't alone. You were listening to everything I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
My responses, but it flowed really nicely as well. It was really interesting, but quite cathartic as well.
Yeah. And the thing
It
is,
was
we
almost
worked.
like a
Yeah,
big
oh, sorry, I keep
sorry,
talking over you. There's a delay, I
it just
think.
felt like a big relief. It just felt like a really big relief. It was exhausting, but I felt lighter after.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
the thing was as well, we weren't even in the same room. We did all this online, didn't we?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I know that that's also a concern sometimes for some of my clients. Is it going to work
Well, yeah,
online?
it was for me as well. But I absolutely had no problems at all with it.
Yeah.
You know, as long as I could hear you, yeah, that was absolutely fine.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Beth. Is there anything else that you wanted to say in closing? I think you've covered an awful lot, to be quite honest, but
Yeah, I just think it was a wonderful experience. And yes, as the days went on, things got harder for me. But I thought, this is normal. This is what's supposed to happen. Um, but Nikki's there. If I need to message her, she'll be there to message me back. Um, and I just always look forward to the next session, because I thought, oh, what we're going to uncover this time. So because I knew it was working, I just felt this is working. So great. So I'll do this session for 28 days, and then we'll move on to another one. And as the time went on, there was other things that I discovered, but they needed to be. They
yes,
absolutely needed to be.
and this is it. We did, I think, 3 sessions in total, and because, like I say, we kind of dealt with one thing, and then something else came up, and so we were looking at different aspects of the
Yeah,
original problem, weren't we, to
yeah.
actually move forward, and sometimes that does happen.
Mm-hmm.
And with you, I think in the consultation, it was quite clear there was an awful lot of stuff that you had experienced, that
Yeah,
so it was, I think I knew at the start it was going to be a little bit more in depth than some of my other
Yeah.
cases anyway, some of my other clients. So thank you very much for your time, Beth.
Thank you.
That's been amazing. You have been an amazing client. You have been absolutely
Thank you.
lovely to work with. And I know that you are also on your own, you know, your healing journey, but you're also on your own journey to become a therapist. And I think
Yeah.
you will, I applaud that, because I think the best people who, the best therapists are the one who've been through the stuff, who can have that empathy,
Yeah.
and you have massive amount of empathy
Mm.
and that ability to help people. And I'm sure that, you know, it's going to be a great career for you going forward. So thank you
You.
very much for your
Thank you
time
so much for
today.
your help. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, then take care, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thanks. All right. Bye bye.